I'm Jerry Carter with the Crest Business Law Group. We get a lot of questions from out-of-state attorneys asking how they can become admitted to practice in Nevada. So I'd like to address some of those questions today. The first thing an out-of-state attorney needs to know about appearing in a court case or other proceeding in Nevada is that Nevada is an anti-competitive state. The legal system here is set up to protect in-state attorneys and not out-of-state attorneys. So you just need to know that, and there's no reciprocity. So being an attorney admitted to practice in any of the 49 states does not enable someone to come in and get reciprocity and be allowed to practice in Nevada. The second thing you need to know about practicing in Nevada as an out-of-state attorney is we have a rule that tells you when it's required that you get permission to practice here and when it's not. It's Supreme Court Rule 42, and it talks about when you need that permission, such as for a court case or an administrative proceeding or certain kinds of arbitrations. It also discusses certain kinds of arbitrations, private arbitrations, where special permission is not required. And then of course the last thing you need to know is that for those who are required to get permission to appear in a court case here or practice in Nevada, there's a procedure. The procedure involves, first of all, having a local Nevada lawyer sponsor you. And that local Nevada lawyer needs to commit to participate actively in the case and to ensure compliance with local rules of procedure as well as Nevada ethical rules. Once you've got that sponsor, you fill out an application and it's submitted to the Nevada State Bar to investigate the application. Once the Nevada State Bar signs off on that application, it can be submitted to the judge or other tribunal along with a motion requesting admission to practice for purposes of that case only. Sometimes called pro hoc vice admission. Now, one thing to know is that there's a limit on how many times you can request special admission to practice in a Nevada case. The idea is that if you're appearing in a lot of Nevada cases on a special basis, at some point you need to become licensed to practice in the state. Now, recognize that there are a lot of individual specific questions that come up in the process of deciding if you need special permission to practice in Nevada. And for that, I invite you to give us a call so that we can discuss the specific circumstances of your situation. In addition, many out-of-state lawyers who come to Nevada want to know a little bit more about the local judiciary and how to effectively practice in front of Nevada judges. I want you to be aware that our firm has prepared a special report mainly for the benefit of out-of-state attorneys and their clients that gives you an introduction to local Northern Nevada judges. The report is called A Visiting Attorney's Introduction to Northern Nevada State Judges. The report introduces you to some of the personalities who are serving as judges in this area. It also talks about some of the do's and don'ts of practicing in front of the specific judges. What things the judge is looking for, what things will turn the judge off. And then it also talks about, or it also gives information on judicial surveys that have taken place over the years and how the local lawyers in the area view those judges in terms of their effectiveness. And so this introduction to Northern Nevada state judges is a valuable guide to someone who is just stepping foot in Nevada and wants to orient himself or herself to the local judiciary. And so to obtain a copy of that report, just visit our internet website at sierracrestlaw.com and go to the page for local counsel, and you'll be invited to download that report and use it in your practice. Again, we'd love to hear your comments and concerns and questions. You can reach us at sierracrestlaw.com or by phoning 775-448-6070.